Hello and welcome, everybody. I know that you are all pouring in a little bit at a time, but we are so glad you're here. Hello. So glad everybody's here. I am so excited for us to be here, all of us together. And I'm pleased to announce Tarnie Falloon, who will be speaking with all of us today. And just a reminder to utilize the chat function at the bottom of your screen. If you have questions that come up, I will be monitoring those questions and we'll have a Q&A at the end. Tarnie will be sure to get to all of our questions as best as we can. So again, welcome, and we're so glad we're here. Tarnie?
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Erin. It's wonderful to be here. I'm Tarnie Falloon of Body-Centered Medicine is my business, and it's a somatic healing and embodiment practice. I'm actually a past sports medicine physiotherapist who transitioned into doing her master's in psychology and then created Body-Centered Medicine, which is a practice about becoming more body-centered. And in fact, this last month, I've just been doing a whole series with a group here in, I'm in Pasadena, I'm in Los Angeles, with a group called Living Beauties, and working with befriending their bodies. So today we've got about half an hour, and we're going to talk about survivor's guilt. And before I go any further, I just want to say, I just thank the Young Survivors Summit or the Young Adult Survivors Summit for inviting me to speak today. So we're going to explore the topic of the survivor's guilt. But what I'm going to do is just talk briefly, but I actually, because of my focus, I'm actually going to take us all through a process. So you'll be taking about 10 minutes. We'll drop in. We're going to go into the body, connect into what's, hopefully find some information that's inside. And then we're going to go into a discussion, which will come through, as Erin said, through the chat. So by definition, survivor's guilt refers to the feelings that you're left with, the guilt and maybe even grief of that you're left with, that someone else, because someone else isn't here, someone else hasn't got that. So my question to you is, what level of guilt, and please put this in the chat before we go into our process, what level of guilt are you feeling right now? So if I say survivor's guilt is a feeling of guilt of surviving, that someone else didn't, what level do you have? And just if you could put it in the chat, out of 10. So 0 is, I don't feel too much. 10 out of 10, it's overwhelming.
Right. Oh, great. We're having a lot of people in the chat. We've got some 7s, 8s, 9s, 10s, some 6s. Thank you, everybody. Drop your level of guilt here in the chat. Great. We've got some 7s, a lot of 7s and 8s.
Right. Great. Thank you. So it's actually considered a symptom of PTSD, so post-traumatic stress syndrome. So that means that in the body, you're holding this place of either grief or guilt or a number of other feelings, and it gets stuck in the body, and some of those are very, very high. So it's very important to feel and acknowledge the feeling, but then be able to move on and move past it. So before I know people are still arriving, and I do want to go into a process. So I think I'm just going to do that anyway, and they'll join in as we go. So right now, if you could just take a moment to close your eyes. Hopefully you've had a sense that you've done some sort of meditating or some sort of body centering technique. And if not, if you're new to this, I'll lead you through it. So just settle yourself just comfortably in your chair, because what we're looking at here is grief or guilt is embedded in the body, and we want to actually allow it to be expressed, allow it so it just doesn't get caught in the body. And one of the things I do is guide individuals one-on-ones or through groups or workshops to help them unlock the the what's held in the body. And that can be any number of things. And it can turn up as pain, can turn up as emotional issues, can turn up as some place you're stuck in your life. So just resting back wherever you are, if you want to lie down, if you want to sit, if you want to, lean against a wall, whatever's comfortable. So finding a comfortable position and just start to allow yourself to be aware of the breath into your body. Now, often when you're feeling some sort of deep, and especially if some of you are eights and nines and tens, there can be a disconnect from the body. So the first thing I ask people to do is, where do you feel your breath into your body? So just place your hand with your eyes closed, placing your hand, where do you feel your breath reaching inside your body? Does it get into your throat? Some people it only goes to the throat. Does it get to your chest? Can you get it into your soft belly? Can it find its way all the way to the lower belly? So just being aware of where your breath reaches. And one of the things I love to do to connect into the body, one of my trainings or one of the techniques I like to use is a little bit of movement. So just imagine you can start to sway. If it feels comfortable, imagine you're just like a piece of seaweed sort of floating in the ocean. Yesterday, someone said, I feel like I'm in the kelp and I've just been supported by in that deep, you know, thick kelp in the ocean, but they've got a lot of freedom, but they're feeling that support. And there's just a sense of unwinding or maybe softening. Because sometimes when we're asked to go into the body and then you're asked to sort of find, the calm place, it's really tough to do that. So we just want to I find a little bit of movement, maybe a sense of unwinding. And as you do, imagine you've got a place that is peaceful and calm inside of you. And maybe you know that place right now, but maybe you don't. So where might be a place inside of you that feels peace and calm? Just have a sense of it. If you don't have anything and you're really disconnected from your body, that the guilt or the grief or the is really overwhelming, and it's like I'm not even there. Then bring an image and imagine. So imagine maybe you're a tree or you're sitting by a lake or something that's peaceful and calm for you. And then the next step with this, and we're just doing a touchstone here. We've got a few minutes, and for me, it's really important. We could talk about it, but it's very important that you have an experience in your body, that you know what this is like in your body. So the next piece is, where is the grief or the pain or the guilt of you being a survivor? Where do you hold that in your body? And we're going to come back and I'm going to ask you to share this. We're going to talk about this very shortly. But where do you feel that in your body? Where is that place in your body that feels the guilt or the pain? It could be in your head, could be in your heart, could be in your gut, could also be in a knee or a shoulder, but it tends to be somewhere, could be in your throat, tends to be in the core. And if you don't know, imagine where it might be. Imagine, or when you get a sense of who do you feel guilty that you've survived and someone else hasn't. So that survivor's guilt. You think of that person or that situation, feel where it comes in your body. That's number two. And there could be feelings of guilt, said guilt, sadness, of anger, of frustration, of loneliness. So in this place, can you bring forward a feeling word? And again, we're going to put that in the chat in a minute, but just stay with the process. What's the feeling word that's associated with that guilt? Because underneath the guilt is the feeling and the hurt, and underneath the hurt actually is the loving, but we're looking at this process of just what's the feeling that's there. And then the third piece is, where's that part of you in your body that you feel good? that you've survived. There's a part, there's a piece in your body that you can actually say, feel grateful, you can feel appreciative, you can feel, just feel that even excitement or elation that you actually did survive. And see if you can find that in your body. And again, if you can't feel it, where might you imagine that might be? And one of the other things you can do is draw a diagram of your body and answer these questions of, where do you feel your breath? Where do you feel the peace and calm, the guilt? And now, where do you feel you're okay as a survivor? That you're happy that you've survived. It's very important that you actually even have a question about it or open that conversation. And lastly is take a minute, and then we're going to go into discussion because it's important that we do that, is just placing your hand on your heart and say, I am grateful for. There's something you're grateful for around your survival, something something positive that's come forward. So I'm grateful for dot dot dot. And some of you might have continued to move, some of you might have just stayed still, but just feeling the feeling inside. So now, that was just a touchstone of moving into your body. And of course, if you'd like to know more about this, I'll post in the chat at the end, I'll post or at some point, I'll post my information. But if you'd like to know more about how to work with moving through the releasing the guilt, there's certainly some, we could spend a bit more time with this. But for now, I would love to hear from you. So in the chat, first of all, can you tell me just where do you feel the guilt or the pain as a survivor in your body? If anybody would like to share that. And then and if you have any questions about that, please feel free to. Great. Thank you.
So yeah, we've got a lot in chest,
Mhm.
shoulders, jaw, clenching in stomach.
Yes.
A lot of stomach. A lot of people are feeling it in their stomach.
Good. Okay. Thank you. Thanks for that. I actually would like to come back to that, but for just where do you feel that part of you that is feeling grateful or happy in your body? Can you find that place where you feel that survival in my
Heart
heart?
in
Yeah,
their hearts.
in their hearts. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay. So, what I'd like to do is take a minute to just go put your hand on. A lot of people said belly, but if you said jaw, or if you said, what were some of the others, Erin? Jaw,
Stomach,
stomach, yeah, jaw, was
lower back.
lower back. Okay. So if you can place your hand wherever that might be, but just place your hand on that area. And then if you felt it where you felt happy you survived, place your hand on your heart. And just take a minute, just start to move through the heart and the belly, or the heart and your lower back, or the heart and your jaw. Maybe you're doing that. And begin to start to reach out and it sort of connect with, if you will, or hold the hand of the part that feels really guilty. And I'm going to, everybody's muted, and hopefully, what might, what might that part of you that's feeling guilty say? If you were to speak it out loud, and if you want to, you can very welcome to write it in the chat. This is where you might journal, write something. But if you are able to speak it out loud, and you can just do it now, what might the, uh, what might the guilty part feel? And maybe actually, if some of you'd be willing to put that in the chat, that would be great. What does the guilty part feel? Or the sad, the grief? What does that part feel? While you're feeling your heart, remember you want it's staying connected to where you feel good in your body, and also staying connected to where you're feeling the grief and the pain.
So we have some comments in the chat. They feel lucky. Why am I here and you're not?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if friends who have lost spouses or loved ones resent me for surviving.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. This isn't fair.
Mm-hmm.
Why me?
Mm-hmm.
I feel grateful to be here, but don't feel fully worthy to be here compared to others who aren't. Why am I still here, but others with children and partners have died? My guilt is saying, leave me alone.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Thank you. So now if you can go into the heart space. So that could be and please keep filling writing. You know, this is very important really right now is the process is to express this. What is the guilt or the grief or the sadness or the anger or what you're feeling releasing in your body? So if it's your lower back or your jaw or your belly or wherever it is, just let it come through. Erin, maybe you'd like to read a few more, please.
Yes, I would. Why does my treatment and doctors seem better than others? And it makes me feel guilty that I've had that experience. Why did my treatment take and others didn't? What is my purpose in this?
Mm,
I'm here and got to have a baby while friends have died and had metastatic diagnoses, and some won't ever get these life chapters that I get to have. Guilt that I am okay and I had it mild. Sad that that we've had to say goodbye to friends and that they're still here.
right. Good. Thank you. So then, thank you everyone for those. It's and again, as I say, important to express it. Now, most of you said the heart, the place where you feel you're happy you survived, or you're feeling that gratefulness. Um, if it's the heart, if it's somewhere in your body, go to that. But I'm going to talk from the heart. So if you go to your heart, what might your heart, if you feel into the heart, breathe into your heart, sense into the heart, what might the heart say to that part of you that's expressed itself, the guilty, sad, lonely? What might so take a minute, don't write it just yet. Take a minute to feel and just gently move and connect into your heart. And if the heart expands, it's like this expanded sense. It's like the acceptance or the surrendering, the feeling that I am here. I did survive. I want to take advantage of that. I want to be. I do. I want to. I want to experience my survival. I want to be happy about it, or whatever it might be. What might the heart say to the part that's not feeling so good? Just take a minute.
Tarnie, I just want to let you know too, we have about 10 minutes left.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. So, what might the heart say? I deserve to be happy. I'll let
I
you read
deserve
that, and it's easier for you.
I deserve to be happy. You deserve to live
Mm-hmm.
and live for them. This is the hard part.
Mm-hmm.
She would
So
be so glad to see you thriving, even when it's hard.
I love that.
I deserve to be here for my husband and kids. My heart says, get over it. It is a bit angry.
Ah, so thank you. So there is this, and I think I saw someone. It's really hard to get over it because it needs to be resolved. But what if in this moment, you can hold the hand of the guilty part and actually embrace it. Just say, I hear you. I want to know more about what you have to say. I want to listen to you, and I want us to become I want us to move forward in in that place of where we can just, you can have the expression, but you don't dominate. So what often happens is the guilt, the anger, the sadness, the feelings that you're feeling from the guilty place or the grief can dominate, and it becomes it becomes the, what do I want to say it, the one who's driving the bus, one who's leading. So what if you allowed it to, the heart or that place where you've got that happy place, and they held hands together, and so you actually started to get an experience or a sense in your body that there's something else other than just the grief and the guilt.
You have a comment in the chat that I've never really said it out loud before. It helps to type what I said.
Yes. So I would thank you. And I would encourage you to journal write this, take this. I believe this is being recorded. You can come back and take this through a journal, take it through a journal process. And that's where I said you can draw a diagram of your body and actually where do I feel, where might there be peace and calm in my body? Where do I feel the guilt? And then where am I feeling this place that I'm grateful I've survived? What does that last
We have
one?
a comment. It says, I think a happy place and the guilt would find resolution if I found a reason, like someone put in the chat before.
And can Lara tell me a little bit about what she means by the reason? The reason to, does she mean by the reason to connect the two? Lara, can you just expand on that a little bit if you're hearing me? And please go ahead. Please.
Why am I here still? More questions.
So that's Rebecca. What might your heart say, Rebecca?
So Laura said, finding a way forward as a survivor.
Okay, so if you were to say, well, I'll both I think Rebecca and Laura. So in your body, just take a minute, and this is for everyone, feeling that place that says, well, why am I here? Why did I survive? Why me? Why am I important enough? Why am I good enough? Why happened to me? Right? Is that question, and you're holding. And then on the, so that's one side, but somewhere else in your being is a part that says, hey, let's get on with our life. Let's move forward. Let's embrace this. Let's enjoy this. Taking the hand of that part that doesn't feel so good and say, but we're here now. It's about coming into the present. It's about not letting those thoughts in your mind, which turn up in the gut, but those thoughts of why me, to saying, to finding that place of what's my purpose. And the purpose comes from feeling deep into the heart space and feel, well, I actually am here now. If I listen to that place, can I move forward? Can I allow that energy to lead rather than the guilt?
We do have about 5 minutes left, but I wanted to read a few of the comments in the chat. They're saying, if reverse saying why me and change it to why not me.
Yes, beautiful. Thank you. Yes. And can you, whoever that was, can you feel that? Can you feel that why not me? Can you feel in your body, all of you, the yes to life rather than the why did I live, the yes to living? Can you feel that yes in your life? And can you put out at 1 out of 10, 0 to 10 in this moment, finding this place somewhere in your body that says yes to living? Because when you say yes to living, then you're giving your gift of who you are, and you're giving your gift back to your family. Yes to life. Yes to life. What would you do 0 out of 10? What might you say? Or you can just write yes to life. But can you give me sort of in your body, because you can practice. I mean, that's a really lovely mantra. Yes to life. Yes to life. Yes to life. Feel it in your body. But what might you say that?
That statement of yes to life makes me cry. It's difficult when my quality of life is low. Yes, I never wanted to love. I just wanted others to live. Yes to life.
And it's yes to life, and it's yes to love. So it's the loving energy. So, and if everybody could I know we've got a couple of minutes. One of the places I love to work with individuals and, as I say, in my groups, longer groups, is you go, if everyone can breathe down into your lower belly. So, and particularly for women, this is our life force energy. So take your breath down, if you can, down into your lower belly, down into your pelvis, and that's the place where the life is. I heard a talk earlier about sex and body image. And when you inhabit your body, when you inhabit it, it's also the place when you can then surrender and accept and be grateful for what you have. And so it's taking that alignment right down into your lower belly and saying the yes from deep inside, and then it resonates up through your whole body. Go ahead and tell me, what do you have?
Everyone is saying they yes to love, yes to life, one step at a time. It's hard to say yes to life.
It's hard to say yes to life. Yes, it can be hard to say yes to life. And to who said that, I would invite you to find a little flicker of yes, even if it's just, just 10% or 5%. Find that little flicker, something that you can be grateful for in your body. It's really important. This is not a head process. This is a feeling process in the body of saying that yes, resonating, vibrating. So aligning and allowing that part of you that feels guilty or pain or in grief to exist, but not to take up your whole body. To say, hey, I hear you, I feel you, I connect with you, but there's also more of me. There's more of me. And for those of you who are looking at what's my point, my purpose, it's the same. Is I would say, breathe into your heart space or breathe down into your lower belly and just keep meditating on it. There's a lovely mantra I say: keep feeling, keep revealing, keep feeling. No, keep feeling, keep healing, keep feeling, keep revealing. I don't know if you can type that in for me, Erin. Do you mind?
Sure.
So it's keep feeling and keep revealing. Keep feeling and keep healing. When my friends are dying every day, how do I say yes to life? I think one of the things I'd say to that is that one of your gifts that your gifts would be to live your life so you can actually share their energy as well. So it's not about them, but it's about you. And I'm sure that they would want you to say yes to life.
You have a comment in the chat from Laura that says sometimes it's so hard to stay in the present because of worrying about the future.
Yes. And that's what we call negative future fantasy. And again, it's about coming back into your body and finding that place that says, I'm here now. And again, taking your breath and finding that peace and calm in the breath and anchoring in your body. I think we're about out of time. Is there any other questions? Anybody else have anything they'd like to share to complete some? And maybe we're out of time, but you can write it in. Again, you have a little mantra or you can say yes to life, keep feeling, keep revealing, keep feeling, keep breathing. Maybe there's an intention or a focus or something or something you've taken from this today that you can continue with.
So you have a comment or a question from Christy. I attended my met four friends funeral last week and it was traumatic. Tips to handle it better.
That's an involved question because I think we're out of time. The important thing is for all of us in any of those situations when we lose someone is to somewhere find that place inside that's an anchor of peace and calm, a place that you can rest into and know inside yourself that you can go to. So you don't get pulled down the rabbit hole of the emotions. Now, that's very easy to say, but it does take practice to do, some body centering exercises to keep connecting into what you're holding in your body, being honest and truthful about the feeling you had, but then coming and expressing it, but then coming back and, as I say, finding that part that feels calm, peaceful, and is really holding the yes to life inside of you. I hope that helped.
What ifs sometimes feel negative, but the what ifs could also be positive? The future may hold greatness.
Yes, exactly. And I think the what ifs are really hard. I think the what ifs can really spin us out. What if I had this? What if I had that? What if, or in the shoulda, woulda, could'ves, they're really important to it really is important to let go of them, to actually look at, well, what's going on right now with me? What's going on right now inside of me? I would like to ask, was this helpful? Did people get something from it? If there was something they'd like to take away with, please write it in the chat. And I think we're ready to complete. Is that right, Erin?
Yes, we are. And we are so happy that you guys were here. Tarnie did put her contact information in the chat, her website, if you would like to visit that. Everyone is saying that that was very therapeutic, excellent session, and they're very grateful.
Great. Thank you. And I think if I put my contact, you can scroll through. But yes, if anybody would like to reach out to me, please email me. I put my phone number and my direct email. So I'd love to continue this conversation if that's something you feel you'd like to do.